We see children with disabilities every day, and we assume we know what they're going through and how they live their lives. But do we really? There are many types of disabilities that arise from six different forms, ranging from mental to sensory, and more serious sometimes, the physical disabilities. Most people don't see or cannot see past the characteristics of one with a disability. These people make life hard for the disabled and their families. Some disabilities are not as serious as others. However, we need not forget that they are all serious nonetheless. Children who suffer from a disability most often have some form of a health issue, putting a lot of stress on the child and the family, physically, emotionally, and financially. Caring for a disabled child is a full-time job all on its own. In most cases, a parent will stay at home and avoid home health care costs. This puts extra stress on that parent. This extra stress, in turn, results sometimes in arguments between mothers and fathers, and sometimes between parents of a disabled child and the rest of a family. Sometimes families aren't as supportive as parents of a disabled child would like them to be. Sometimes families shut out that disabled child's family, don't associate, and don't have anything to do with. This also causes more stress. The more stress that a family has on the parents, the more stress it is for the child. Stress for a disabled child is unhealthy. This extra stress, in turn, results sometimes in arguments between mothers and fathers, and sometimes between parents of a disabled child and the rest of a family. Sometimes families aren't as supportive as parents of a disabled child would like them to be. Sometimes families shut out that disabled child's family, don't associate, and don't have anything to do with. This also causes more stress. The more stress that a family has on the parents, the more stress it is for the child. Stress for a disabled child is unhealthy. Some families have the support of other members in their family. This relieves some stress, allowing the parents to do what is needed for their children. There are disabilities that we can see, such as Down syndrome, autism, scoliosis, handicap, blindness. Then there are those that we can't see, such as the learning disabilities, dyslexia, ADHD, things of that matter. These also cause families stress, but not nearly as much as the mental or physical disabilities in which you can see. If it sounds like home life is horrible, in public it is much worse. People stare because the mind obsesses over the unknown, and this makes the families feel uncomfortable. Most of the time, the child will not notice, which is a good thing. This helps saves the feelings, less stress on the disabled child. However, believing that only young children stare and only young children do the abusing will lead you to be wrong. Even adults stare. They also partake in the abusing and beating up of young children. Explaining to you is not enough. I have split my speech into some video takes for you, so that you can see just for yourselves what kind of abuse some disabled children go through, and by whom that abuse on them disabled children is given by. Here is video 1.
A disabled son and the decision to send the son into school wearing a wire. What the father heard on tape ignited a firestorm, and tonight a national teachers organization is taking a surprising stand on all this. And here's ABC's Dan Harris to tell us.
When Stuart Chaffetz heard that his 10-year-old autistic son, Akian, was becoming violent while in class at this school in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, he says he couldn't believe it.
I didn't understand it because he is such a gentle person, and it was only happening in school.
He says he couldn't get answers from the school, so he put this recording device in his son's pocket and let it roll in class for 6 hours. And here is what he heard. The teachers berating Akian for talking to himself. And when Akian cries, and then after more crying, this comment.
When I heard what they had done to him, my life just shattered.
This is just the latest case. In Alabama, a mom, after getting a tip from a classmate, attached a recorder to the wheelchair of her 10-year-old with cerebral palsy. She heard him being scolded for drooling.
Here is video 2.
Try to be nice. 10-year-old Hope Holcomb is like any other young girl. She loves to play and to be outside, and she doesn't let her cerebral palsy slow her down. But she tells us she's been afraid to leave her home in East Sparta, which is south of Canton in Stark County, because she says she's being bullied by her 9-year-old next-door neighbor and his father. Here is video shot by Hope's grandmother last week at the bus stop. In it, you can see a boy and his father, William Bailey, walking slowly with a limp.
It started last year. We had trouble on the bus. She was miserable. She didn't want to ride the bus, cried every morning, and then most recently, the dad got involved.
And after Hope's parents, Tricia and Mike, saw the video, they felt they needed to bring the bullying to the public's attention.
It makes me sick, too, to think that a grown man, would tease a 10-year-old disabled girl that has never done a thing to any of them for no reason, and now she doesn't want to get on the bus to go to school.
The dad in the video, William Bailey, wouldn't talk to us, but his wife, Vicki, says this is a fight between two families, and they call each other names.
He did get out of the car. You've seen the video, I'm sure. And my kid was walking, but it was no offense to Hope. So why they're taking it that, I have no idea.
Both families have filed complaints with the prosecutor's office. No criminal charges have been filed. Trish and Mike met with the Kansas City prosecutor's office Monday afternoon. The prosecutor tells me that she's going to meet with both families sometime next week to determine what, if any, charges should be filed. In Canton, Peggy Sinkovich, Fox 8 News.
Thank you for listening, and I hope I have enlightened you. I hope you have also learned something new about disabilities today.